Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The first time I caught him lying, it was over something so small it barely registered. An unread message on his phone from a name I didn't recognize, Sophie from HR. He said she was helping him with a project, his tone calm and casual. I wanted to believe him. After all, Daniel was the charming one, the man who used to tuck my hair behind my ear and whisper, "You'd never survive without me, love." I laughed back then. But those words, those poisonous, mocking words, would echo in my head for years to come. At first, everything seemed ordinary. We'd been married 12 years, built a business together from nothing. Daniel had the charisma. I had the discipline. He handled the clients. I handled the numbers. But lately, something in his smile felt rehearsed. He stopped looking me in the eye during breakfast. When I asked about his late nights, he'd deflect with a kiss and a joke. Someone has to keep this empire running. I told myself marriage wasn't meant to feel thrilling all the time. I told myself he was just stressed. Then one evening, while waiting for him at the office, I heard laughter spilling from behind the closed conference room door. His laughter, low, familiar, intimate, and hers, light and musical. I froze. My heart slammed against my ribs as I recognized Sophie's voice. Through the frosted glass, I saw shadows move closer than they should have. A blurred outline of his hand brushing against hers. A giggle. A whisper. And then silence. When he finally emerged, his face drained of color at the sight of me. He recovered quickly, flashing that same confident smile. "You shouldn't sneak up on people, Claire." I forced a smile back, but something inside me splintered. That was the night I stopped being naive. For weeks, I watched from the sidelines as my husband, my partner, became a stranger in tailored suits. He'd leave for business dinners that never appeared on his calendar, come home smelling faintly of jasmine, Sophie's perfume. I checked phone records, receipts, emails. Every discovery cut a little deeper. The betrayal wasn't just the affair. It was the arrogance. The ease with which he looked me in the eye and lied. I wanted to confront him, to scream, to demand the truth. But every time I tried, fear stopped me. Fear of what his absence might mean. Fear of losing everything we'd built. And fear, most of all, that he was right. I wouldn't survive without him. But something shifted when I caught my reflection one morning. Eyes hollow, shoulders tense. A woman trapped in the ruins of her own silence. That wasn't me anymore. So I planned. Quietly. Methodically. I hired a private investigator under the guise of hiring a new consultant. Within 2 weeks, I had photos, Daniel and Sophie at a lakeside cabin, their hands entwined, their faces pressed together in a kiss that stripped away every illusion. I didn't cry. I didn't even feel rage. Just a terrifying calm. That night, while Daniel showered, I backed up every business file, every financial record, and transferred ownership of my shares, my half of the company, into a trust he couldn't touch. By morning, I was gone. I left a single envelope on the kitchen counter. Inside were the photos and divorce papers. He called me 43 times that day. Each voicemail began with anger and ended in pleading. "Claire, you're overreacting. Claire, please, let's talk. Claire, I made a mistake." But the silence between us had already become its own language. The divorce was brutal. He tried to intimidate me, to paint me as ungrateful and hysterical. His lawyers underestimated me, just like he always had. They didn't realize I'd kept every receipt, every signed document, every trace of his deceit. When the judgment came, I walked away with the house, my investments, and full control of the business. Daniel was left with debts, unpaid taxes, and the woman who helped him lose everything. 6 months later, I ran into Sophie at a cafe. She looked exhausted, eyes rimmed with regret. "He's not who I thought he was," she whispered, avoiding my gaze. I smiled, not out of cruelty, but recognition. He never is. In the months that followed, I rebuilt myself piece by piece. I redecorated the house. New colors, new light. I started running again, something I hadn't done since before the marriage. I even took solo trips, finding freedom in my own company. People began calling me lucky for getting out when I did. But luck had nothing to do with it. Survival wasn't about luck. It was about reclaiming the power he'd convinced me I didn't have. The last time Daniel and I spoke, he showed up at my office unannounced. He looked older, thinner. "You win," he said softly, eyes glassy. "You always were stronger than me." I didn't gloat. I simply replied, "I was never trying to win. I was just trying to live." He nodded, a broken smile crossing his lips. "Guess I was wrong. You did survive without me." As he walked away, I felt something uncoil in my chest. Not triumph. Not vengeance. Just peace. The kind that comes when you finally realize the person who betrayed you no longer defines you. I thrived. He crumbled. And for the first time in years, I felt weightless.